Welcome, my beautiful souls. Today we are going to do a reading for Aries. This is going to be for Aries, sun, moon, or rising. Definitely for those who are intuitively guided. You know, I said this in the last reading. I feel like I've been training you guys well. And I mean that in where you really trust your intuition. If you feel called to a reading, but you're like, I don't think I have that sign in my chart, that's probably your spirit guides. They probably, they'll use whatever they can use to get a message to you. So I thank you for paying attention to your intuition, and I'm sure your guides do too. And matter of fact, before we move on, this is a great time to advise you if you want to ask your guides to give you signs of clarity. Um, I feel like you should really feel a reading. It is an energy exchange. Um, so that's one of the ways you can tell, but definitely feel free to talk to your spiritual team because that's who I work through anyways. And I know they connect to your team. We're just one big soul family. So Aries and those intuitively guided, we are going to use a few different decks. I brought out the clarifying love situations. Somewhat of a new deck here, but I've been using it more and more, and definitely fits in. It fits in, so we'll continue to use it. But I also brought out the romance angels in case love comes up. I want to say, Aries, I don't remember like what your reading was about last month, but I know it blew me away. Um, And, a lot of readings blow me away. Well, I shouldn't say blow me away. They, like all of them, um, what's the word I want to use? Like they pique my interest. You know what I mean? Like I'm reading for you, but I read for you like I am you. So, yours just totally blew me away last month. I think I even put the title, Oh My God, because I couldn't think of any better words. Like, that's just what I felt. So I'm hoping this reading will continue with that energy exchange that I feel like is starting to happen for you. But anyway, so we are also going to use the major arcanas. I use those for like bullet points for anyone who's new. If you're new, welcome to our soul family. And I just love them. So I've been using them almost every month now. I usually save them for the monthly readings. Yeah, I don't think I really use them in any other reading. But for the monthlies, definitely. We'll use the Gilded Tarot to clarify or go deeper. This is why the readings are long. And for your main spread, we're going to use the Tarot of Dreams. But let's go ahead and begin with Mother Mary. I'm going to go ahead and bring the lid down a little bit. Not too much. There we go. So, Mother Mary, I'm going to give a shout out to my friend who is March 22nd. That's actually the person I was with for 25 years. Um, but, we remain friends. I mean, why not, right? He didn't do anything that horrible to me that, you know, can't remain friends with him. All right. And it's funny because Sam's oldest son, Sam, his name is also Sam, but not senior or junior. I always thought he was Taurus, but he's actually an Aries. I can't remember his birthday on the top of my head, but I do remember like about a month ago, I realized like, oh, he's an Aries, not a Taurus. So I'll figure out his birthday and let you know. We have God. I step out of the way and surrender any need for control in order to make room for God's healing love to flow through me and this situation. I step out of the way and I let God be in charge. We have truth. I am lovingly honest with myself and others. I do feel like it has to start with you. Um, it's interesting because it's just making me, it's reminding me that this year, I do feel like there's going to be a lot of people having spiritual awakenings. Some won't even know what it is. Like they won't be able to put a name to it. But I do feel like there's going to be this energy change and, again, more spiritual awakenings. The reason why I'm saying that right now is because I feel truth, truth to yourself, about situations, like being very, very honest with yourself. When you're, let's just say, on your way to a spiritual awakening, I feel like that's one of the first things that we have to be willing to face. Now, it doesn't have to be a bad thing, it could be a good thing. You know, like maybe you're really good at something. Maybe you're very empathetic and compassionate. Like that, those are all good things. And you want to recognize it about yourself. But I also feel like on the flip side, if there's something going on in my life, like God is saying, step out of the way, let me take control, then I have to be honest about that too. So lovingly honest with myself and others. And then sobriety. Sobriety. My clear mind is easily able to focus and concentrate. Sobriety. Some of you may have to take a look at that. It may talk about just being honest with yourself. Sobriety doesn't have to mean like alcohol or drugs or sex. It could just, it could be a number of things. To me, what it feels like is like the potential of a repeat pattern within myself. And by the way, when I say me, it's because I'm you. I'm in Aries right now. It's funny, I was going to say Leo. Um, so God, truth, and sobriety. Okay. Well, we will know why these showed up as we continue. One of the ways I look at my readings when I use different decks, I use them for like levels, like the surface level, then we're going to go deeper, and then deeper, and then deeper. That's why I feel like, if you don't stick around to the end, which is completely your choice, you kind of miss, I feel like, where the blessings start to show up. You know what I mean? But to each their own. All right, let's bring in the major arcanas. And again, everything is already pre-shuffled, so we don't need to spend a lot of time shuffling. All right. Let's see what story is going to be told for Aries. We start with the Chariot. Um, oh, we have the Death card, looking right back at the Chariot. The Death card, he has this big sickle in his hand, and it is meant to you know, cut out the fat, so to speak. But he is looking back at the Chariot. So it feels like someone's like busting at the seams to do something, to start a new chapter, potentially. But the Death card does talk about transformation, closing of a door, a new door opens. Because he's looking back at the Chariot, I feel this has to be good news. It feels like good news. Though I do want to add, for some, it could be something also that you thought was going to, be unlimited, and then something happens and kind of brings it back to earth. Now, maybe it just wasn't meant to be unlimited with that situation. Okay, well, let's keep going. We have the Hermit. Well, there's our spiritual awakenings. And then we have the Moon. So interesting. Cancer or Chariot is Cancer's major arcana. The Moon is Cancer's ruler. Some of you must be connected to a Cancer. I just feel that. We do have a lot of water on the board versus the Hermit. The Moon is a card of Pisces, though. It's Pisces major arcana. And I just released their video. All right, so let's look at this. So the moon can certainly talk about uncertainties. That's one of the things, it's like I can only see as far as the moonlight allows me to see. But because the hermit is like illuminating the moon, I feel like it's more about, it's like I don't have to see where I'm going. I just have to trust where I'm going, if that makes sense. I just have to, you know, I feel like there's definitely growth here. And it does feel like spiritual growth. Um, but it feels more the spiritual growth came. It's almost like I didn't have any other choice but to close the door. I mean, you had a choice, but it feels like, well, maybe that's where truth comes in. Something wasn't serving me, something wasn't helping me within my spirituality, or my spirituality has taught me that, if I hang out with lower vibrational, and it reminds me what I used to tell my kids, you are who you hang out with. So if I'm hanging out with lower vibrational people, energy, and I'm not putting them down, but they don't seem to have evolved as you have. And it's natural when one starts to evolve on a spiritual level that those who don't, or situations that no longer fit, um, we do have to learn to like let it go, close the door. Remember, we're in a universal year 9, and this is the final push, the closing the chapter, because this is a 9-year cycle. This is the last year of that cycle. So the hermit definitely makes sense to me, because the hermit, you either see the hermit like in a cave, and that's when I feel like I'm really seeking spiritual guidance, and I feel like God is saying, I hear you, but sometimes you do need to step out of the way. And I feel like it's more about just trusting, because I feel the beacon of light from the hermit, even though the moon, I can only see as far as the moonlight, I feel like my spirituality will guide me. I also feel like, again, like the energy as I evolve spiritually, there are just some things that cannot come along for the ride. If I want to live, let's just say, a better life, if I want to live with clarity, I feel like many of you must be like really trusting your intuition now, where maybe before it wasn't quite so easy. That's a gift that we were given to use as like our GPS in this lifetime. So, when you really learn to trust your intuition, I do feel like life gets easier, because if you yourself, um, are spiritually inclined, let's say, I feel like you know the truth, you know what doesn't fit. It's interesting because sobriety, it's making me feel like there's other people. Now, you could have certainly been part of, it almost feels like partying energy, where we drank a lot, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having a couple drinks and this and that, but I feel like it could have gotten out of control. And it could have certainly been like just the people you were hanging out with. But I feel like it's like you're growing. Yeah, I feel like you're feeling like if I keep doing this, then, let's think about that. Like if I'm partying all the time, I'm gonna wake up with a hangover. I can't be the best me. My mind certainly isn't clear. My body feels like crap. You know what I mean? Um, but I feel like this is you evolving, and those who are not evolving with you, it's like, okay, well, sorry to do this, but can't really hang out with you. Some of you may have been trying to quit drinking or something, but again, I feel like who I'm with, and it does feel like more than one person. For some of you, it could just be a person. Um, but I just get to sense like if I stay in this energy, then the growth that I really would like to have, I'm not going to say you can't have it. I just feel like it would be so much harder. All right, let's bring in this tarot of dreams. Weird, I just got a cramp in my little finger. Wow, that's never happened before. Right in the middle of shuffling. So let's do one more. All right, skim and cut. And let's begin. We've only just begun to live. I love singing, but I know I don't have a good singing voice. My granddaughter, who's got a beautiful, well, I actually shared her videos with you guys. Um, she does singing lessons also. So anyone who's interested, just let me know. I can connect you. And I keep thinking I should hire her for me because she says she can teach anyone to sing. So I just may do that to save your ears because I can't stop singing. Try. Tried and I tried and I tried. All right. We have the Nine of Pentacles. Beautiful. Um, I do want to say double Virgo on the board. You get Virgo in your reading all the time. I'm not sure why, but you do. Now, other than that, this is great energy. This is the meaning of the card is successful self-employment. And again, maybe that's why like I had to cut the fat. I had to cut some people out of my life because it was starting to affect me, in my money, in the things that I want to create for my life. This is about material harvest. And Aries, you are the seed planter. You open up, you truly open up the year. And if you plant no seeds, we have no harvest. So plant those seeds. This is also very independent energy. And it doesn't mean like I don't want anybody else in my life. It just means I can stand on my own 2 feet. I can take care of myself. Great omen. I love it. I feel like if nothing else, if we stop the reading right here, I would say that your creative house is going to be on fire. Your ability to create abundance for yourself, I feel like not only are you going to be guided, I feel like you're going to follow that guidance. And listen, it can start as epiphanies, exactly how I started tarot so many years ago. Just started with an epiphany. I knew nothing. I knew nothing. Really. I knew nothing about tarot. And what I did is, this is back in the day, I went on Facebook and I offered free readings. Um, not long readings, but just to learn. And I often feel in this energy, you do learn as you go. But bottom line is, this is very independent, abundant energy. But it's because of you. The great thing about the Nine of Pentacles is you are the one who reaps the benefit of your hard work. Now, it doesn't have to be self employment. It could just mean that you find yourself getting promoted, or maybe you starting a new business. I feel like you'll love it, whatever you're doing in here, or you already do. Doesn't mean it doesn't take hard work. It does. And again, I'm going to use myself for an example. It is a lot of work and energy to do long readings, I couldn't imagine doing it any other way. I even tried, and I'm just not meant to do short readings. But it is a lot of work. It does take a lot of my energy, but I love it at the same time. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. Well, hello, Ten of Cups. Now, this is perfect energy if you're working from home and loving what you're doing. That is the house of harmony. Yes, it's also the house of love. Interesting is coming below the death card. So maybe this Ten of Cups exists after the fact, after I use that sickle. I feel so happy for you because I feel you are really starting to enjoy your life. I want to say again. So for some of you, I feel like, well, we have the Hermit here. You could have gone through like the dark night of the soul, but you're emerging from that. And you're emerging from that wiser than you've ever been. You're really, I feel like it's our higher self, our spiritual being who really helps us too. Because remember, you're a spiritual being having human experiences. Your spiritual being is using this body as a vehicle to, well, I feel like learn, evolve, definitely have some adventures, live your life. Like, live your life. This is beautiful energy, guys. Okay, let's just hope it keeps going up. As soon as I said that, I'm like, I shouldn't have said that. So, spirit guides, just please, just delete that comment. We have the Two of Pentacles. Then we have the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is really standing one's ground. But you can definitely see in this image It's like you're fighting off other people's energy. I often feel in this energy like I put out one fire, another fire begins. And that could be related to who you were hanging out with. Um, there could certainly be people who just don't see or don't understand the way that you think and the things that you're doing and what you're creating. But you know what? Oh well, because I definitely feel you're on the right path. But here is this question right before it. Am I on the right path? Is this the right way to go? Should I have cut out some old friends or an old lover? Well, I feel like if you just look at this image, that gives you your answer. Because who wants to live like this? And it looks like all these opinions coming your way. And you're like, I don't want to hear them. My mind's already set. I already know what it is I want to do. Not only that, but listen, if you're not starting to already see the fruits of your labor, then get ready. Get ready. Don't change paths unless this is something you have yet to begun. But if you have already begun this, then don't change your path for those who just don't understand. You know, you probably tried to make them understand, but I don't feel like they did. And again, it feels like the difference between higher vibrational energy and lower vibrational energy. Sometimes I don't know until I know. And sometimes I know what I know, even if I don't know how I know it. All right, I'm going to take 5 across. I'm looking at the Two of Pentacles, and it's like split between the Death card and the Hermit. So it's almost like, which direction do I go? Well, one direction is feels like love, the house of harmony, laughter, joy. I'm not going to say there's no issues or there will never be any issues, but in this house, we work it out together. And then the independence, the, well, I feel like a career that you're building, a business that you're building. Again, it's split between the Death card and the Hermit. Do I follow my spiritual inclinations or do I follow the pack? The pack has a lot of ego and a lot of fighting and a lot of problems. The Hangman. Okay, so the Hangman is mirroring the Nine of Pentacles. So maybe some of you have yet to begun. Maybe you were waiting to feel that it was the right time. I can tell you this is the right time. So if you came here with that question, I feel like we've already answered that. The question is yes, this is the right time. But you do have to also be willing to put your focus on whatever it is you want to grow. The Hangman is seeking wisdom. That's really why he's in this pause energy. I'm seeking wisdom for my next steps. He's really seeking spiritual wisdom, but to use on this earthly plane. There's probably some uncertainties, but I kind of feel like other people put these uncertainties in your head. And I feel the more you trust within yourself, then I feel like, yes, then you just know it's the right time. Whatever wisdom you're seeking, the hermits found it. We have the Page of Cups. Um, so the Page of Cups is your inner child. I often feel the page is also what's in the atmosphere. So cups make sense since we have the Ten of Cups, and 3 out of 4 cards are cups through the major arcanas. Some of you may be bringing something back that it feels like a talent. It feels like something that you just naturally have. Yes, I do feel like I have to hone my craft, but I feel like I have the ability, like it's already within me. And I feel like this may be a dream that you dreamt of a younger age, and maybe you just didn't have the opportunity. Maybe again, you found yourself with, like this. I don't know why I keep feeling like this partying crowd. And that can be fun. I've been through that. That can be fun. But I also feel like a day has to come where if what I'm really looking for is true success, then I feel like one doesn't really go with the other. Reason being is because I feel it's more out of control. You know what I mean? Um, because I'm not saying like if you leave this energy that you yourself never have a drink again. Well, but then if you found yourself like addicted to something, then you don't want to have a drink again. Um, but for those who don't have that issue, because I do feel like there may be times when you take a potential client, let's say, out to lunch and you may have a drink or two. I don't know why I'm talking about this so much, but nonetheless, I feel like something had been put on hold, something that you probably have always wanted to do. And I feel like you have more understanding than you ever had. Again, you don't have to know everything. You'll continue to learn as you go. You'll learn as you grow. But it feels like a very good time, I have to tell you. I'm saying a good time coming over a work card, so to speak. But again, it's the abundance that you're building for you. Now, if you're in a family, for your family also, but it's you, it's your ideas, it's your epiphanies, it's you putting the work in. Now, Page of Cups can also represent, again, Page can represent what's in the atmosphere. So, could be love, or let's say some type of emotional fulfillment. I'm curious what's going to come under the Ten of Cups. Oh, okay. The devil. Now, card of Capricorn. And for some of you, just literally maybe Capricorn. The devil does talk about temptations. Well, it's kind of like I felt the devil's energy before the devil ever showed, because I feel like that ties back to Mother Mary's message of sobriety. The devil casts illusions. So sometimes we can feel stuck in a situation, but we're not. It's an illusion. And if you look at the image, you see this person is in a cage because the devil's making them feel that they can't leave that cage, yet the door is wide open. They could, you know, they definitely can leave that cage. They're not trapped. Just feel it. I feel like once you realize that you can like walk right through that door, I feel like everything changes for you. Could also signifying being careful of not going back. Now, I'm not going to say everyone of your past is not good for you, but there is someone or some people that aren't. And I say that because I feel it. Palace of Wands. So to me, the palace is like my ultimate goal, where I like to see myself. Palace, wands, action oriented. A lot of passion in this palace. Desirable action. It definitely is not a fear based energy. And Aries, it literally is like you, like the decision has to be up to you on which way you go. Do you go back or do you go forward? Everything feels like going forward. Now, when I say back, I just mean where I decide not to cut out energy that I do feel like is just getting in the way, well, of your happiness. You know, yes, I can have a good old time going out drinking, and I have. I've had some great times. But once I really got, my mind set on my career, then I knew things had to change. And there's other reasons why I no longer drink. Um, anyway, I love seeing this right now. Six of Swords. So everything I've been talking about carries some type, well, everything I was talking about in the past does carry some type of toxic energy. It doesn't mean that the people have to be toxic. It just means the energy is not helping you to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. This is another energy that Mother Mary brought out, which is truth. Being completely honest with myself. If the Nine of Cups and the Ten of Cups is what I seek, then honesty is a must. And it does feel like movement. Six of Swords, temporarily difficult energy. And that's just for those who have a hard time with change. You know, if you have a hard time with change, that's your message. This is temporary, my dear. You're heading to much more beautiful waters, calm waters, beautiful beaches. You know what I mean? Like maybe even to maybe you're physically moving. And maybe it feels like I don't know if that's the case. I feel like oh, I feel happiness and joy coming under that seven of wands. It's like I'm not going to get caught up in your web of drama. I got things I want to accomplish. I got places I want to go. And I can't let anybody come in between that anymore. Not if I truly want to have the life that I'm dreaming about. Now, I do want to say, with God coming out asking you to step out of the way, I feel like stepping out of the way is so that some of these dreams can come true. They may look different, but they still give you the ultimate feeling. Let's see if we can get one. That never happens, but we'll try. Well, then again, I don't want to put any limits on it. Whatever wants to come out, come on out. All right. Well, hello, Palace of Cups. Look at that. That's what you're moving towards. From the Six of Swords, where you're actually in movement, you're heading towards the Palace of Cups. Hello. And then that's mirroring the Page of Cups. Hello again. Uh, okay, well, Three Swords. But then look at this. The Knight of Cups. Unexpected cup of fulfillment. You know, it can certainly be read as love. And it may be love. But I don't feel like that's the only thing that this Knight's carrying. I definitely feel some of you are freeing yourself from, those where you felt stuck. And even if it doesn't feel easy right away, I'm just telling you, it'll only get better and better and better. Three of Swords before that. I'm glad the Three of Swords came before that. So that tells me this Three of Swords has nothing to do with this night. This feels like it already happened. So that Death card now makes me feel like someone broke your heart. Romantically, probably, but it can be in many different ways, even just in the way people were acting. I do feel this is the past, and I do feel this is the future because it's mirroring the Ten of Cups. And the Three of Swords is mirroring the Chariot, where you would naturally think that's good. That's good. Chariot's good energy, right? But because the Death card's looking back at the Chariot, that's gotta go. Now, that can even be my intentions, the intentions that I put out into the world. Again, someone feels like they were in your head, maybe telling you you couldn't be successful, you'd never find love, um, that type of energy, but they were wrong. I'm here to tell you that they were wrong. Matter of fact, I feel like, what's that saying? It bounced off you right back to them. So it's almost like they were wishing that you would never find this success or this love. But yet, it's like karma took care of that for them, for you. You don't even have to worry about it because, again, I feel like it bounced right off of you and right back to them. All right, let's keep going. Let's see what the Knight brings out. Remember, when you see a Knight, it's normally something. It's the Knight is bringing something into your world. Ah, beautiful. So another Knight. But this Knight is a special Knight. To me, this Knight is your guardian angel. There's someone special who's trying to help guide you. Now, the thing with the Knight of Pentacles, it's a slow moving Knight. So what it does is it teaches you patience. all good things in their time. This knight brings a pentacle in. This knight brings a cup in. And this knight brings a pentacle in. And both of them come in to really enhance your life. This is like right from, let's just say, a spirit guide who is like, let me take the lead. Let me take the lead here. So this knight brings in this pentacle that is truly meant to enhance your life. Really. Now, I do feel it comes in as a seed. So it's going to be up to me. Like, it's like your spiritual team is like, we're going to do our part because you're ready. So we're going to bring in this seed. And then it's going to be up to you what you do with this seed. If you nurture this seed, then it's just going to grow and enhance your life in really unbelievable ways. Probably ways that you can't even imagine yet. But it also means it's something that's coming into your physical world. Interesting, following the Knight of Cups. Are they working together? Hand in hand? It's like your spiritual team is saying, we've seen what you've been through. And we've seen your courage of knowing when enough is enough. It is you who really ushers all this in. It's through your decisions of continue with, and listen, I'm not talking about all parts of your life, but there is one area of your life that I feel it has held you back, let's just say. Again, in the Page of Cups, it feels like something, well, it kind of feels like something of a dream, but a dream that can come true. And I may have had to put it on the back burner, but it's time to bring it to the front burner now. This Knight of Pentacles also protects you. And what I mean by that is, let's say, this is why this knight says, I come at the right time. Not before, not after. You can beg me. I still won't come in until it's the right time. And it's really your protection, because this knight wants you to be able to really use this pentacle to truly enhance your life. Now, if I would have come before my time, while you were still, let's say, I don't know why I keep thinking partying, but let's say you were still going out a lot, well, you would have taken, let's say this is money, and you would have spent it there instead of on your business, on your creation. This is why this night comes at the right time. It literally feels like and it feels pretty easy. Like, I feel like you are just having these realizations and you're just understanding that if I really want to have the type of life that I had hoped for, then I now know that I have to do certain things. I have to look around. I have to make these decisions of what's going to help my growth and what's going to stunt my growth. The Knight of Pentacles already knows. And by the way, I love the Knight of Cups mirroring the Ten of Cups. We have the Seven of Swords. Oh boy. Okay, so Seven of Swords coming over the Six of Swords. To me, that's good news. Two sevens with the Six of Swords in between them. One, again, defending one's actions, standing one's ground. But yet, I feel this is more a lot of drama. Again, one fire starts, I put that out, another fire starts. Like, why is everybody coming to me to put out your fires? And listen, this may give you an epiphany like, I'm pretty good at putting out other people's fires. Maybe that's what I should do for a living. You know what I mean? And another thing, the Seven of Swords, well, that's untrustworthy energy. They call it the thief in the night. So imagine the Knight of Pentacles coming in, giving you this big, beautiful pentacle, but yet you were still connected to this energy. This person would have their hands out. Like, can I have some of that? Well, no, because it's meant for me. It's meant for my growth. It's meant so I can build success for myself. Oh, come on, give me some. Maybe you had, but I feel like the answer is no now. Mainly because it's coming over the Six of Swords. So, what you're leaving in that Six of Swords definitely serves you. We have another seven, a beautiful seven, though. This is the Seven of Pentacles. And I often call this your tree of life. Because those pentacles on that tree, those are your seeds. Those are your seeds of intention. Some seeds I feel like were planted before we came into this lifetime. And others, you're planting along the way. So the patience within this energy, because it does ask for patience, and so does the Knight of Pentacles, is that I don't pick this pentacle before it's time. So I often relate it to like an apple tree. I'm not going to pick an apple until the apple is ripe. Well, the Seven of Swords next to it, that apple is bitter. I feel like in the Seven of Pentacles, it's talking about like what's the word I was going to use? Number one, I feel like it's talking about your spiritual growth for sure. Because I see that, I feel that. Even your knowing what's got to go, what can stay. Seven of Pentacles to me is definitely energy that's meant to be in your life. And I love that it's coming under the Page of Cups. Now, the Hangman, or I'm sorry, not the Page of Cups, the Palace of Cups. And then the Hangman above that. So, I may have not found the great love of my life yet. But that doesn't mean I won't. Because within the Seven of Pentacles, again, especially with the Knight of Pentacles here, well, I want to say there's more than one seed coming to fruition. There's more than one apple that's ready to be picked. Hello, lovers. So the lover's meaning is a head over heart decision. And I get that because I do feel like you had to make a head over heart decision. And then justice follows that. So even though I know a lot are like, oh no, I don't want to cut out the lovers. Well, it may not even be cutting out the lovers, but, using the sword of justice. That's another gift we were given is that sword and learning when to use it. We can relate that back to the death card sickle, and call it a sword. This is just literally cutting out energy. Again, that is not helping your growth. Can certainly be a divorce. Though it's not anything I recommend. Like this is something you would already feel that you would want. Um, Karmic ties. The devil being here and the Three of Swords, you certainly could have been tempted to someone over and over again. But I don't feel like any longer. Justice is about making you whole again when it shows up in your reading, unless it's a Libra for you, because it could be. Um, we'll put them over here. I do feel like that's what this is, the lovers is saying, is you are making a head over heart decision. And I feel like that's what the Pentacles is doing. Follow the spiritual guidance that I'm receiving, or continue down the path that I'm already on. What do I do? What do I do? Well, with these beautiful nights down here, I feel like, yes, you do want to use that sword of justice. But again, let's put it this way. How do you know if the sword of justice is for you or if it's just a Libra? If you're feeling unbalanced, because that's really what justice is about, balance. If you're feeling unbalanced, then that means there's a sword that you need to use. If you're not feeling unbalanced, then it could literally just mean this is a Libra for some of you. And I know I haven't given any signs, so I'll do that real quick. But then I kind of forget about the signs and I just read the energy. But we do have um, double Cancer, Scorpio, Virgo, dun 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 dun, potentially a younger water sign, though I don't really feel that, but it could be. And Capricorn, Gemini, and Libra. It's funny. It's almost like you're the only sign not here yet. We have the two swords on the bottom of the deck. There's your truth from Mother Mary. So this person's wearing a blindfold. And to me, that blindfold just means there's something I may not want to face. It's on the bottom of the deck. So I feel like this is energy I've already gone through. King of Wands underneath that. Mhm. So I got to take that blindfold off. I got to be honest with myself. It's almost like she's stabbing herself. I want to keep everything in the reading. Okay. Let's bring in the Gilded True and let's go deeper. Aries, I feel like what an abundant time for you. But it feels like in all areas of your life. And I feel like it's because you deserve it. It's like you have gone through the dark night of the soul, but you're coming out the other end and you're coming out stronger than you've ever been. I feel like you're definitely, maybe you've had a spiritual awakening or you're on your way. And I also love the Hermit with the Nine of Pentacles because I know many of you use your spirituality, let's just say within in your creative house. Oh, where'd these cards come from? I don't know. Hello, Knight of Pentacles again. Now it's right over the Nine of Pentacles. That's weird how I just said that. The nine. The full. A new beginning. a leap of faith, putting the past behind me, right where it belongs, right? Extracting the wisdom, especially if I feel like I've gone through any dark, like, and the dark night of the soul to me just means very difficult energies, and you really are seeking help. And your spiritual team is there to help you. But this does signify, putting the past in the past. But I want to say, it's mirroring this Knight of Cups. It feels like new love. Knight of Pentacles right before that. I feel like because the Knight of Pentacles says patience, my dear, again, I come at the right time, right when I know that you can take what I give and multiply it. I feel like your spiritual team is proud of you, especially for those who, listen, you don't have to have started a business. Okay, let's put it this way. Let's say you work for the man, but it feels like it's your ideas, your thoughts that make, like, it feels like makes the business successful. Now, if you work for yourself, man, I just love this energy. And then this knight who asked you to be patient, right? Why? Well, I kind of get it. I don't kind of get it. I do get it. You know, um, past energy. I feel like what it did just kept you in like the Seven of Wands energy. Again, standing one's ground, yes, but to what point? Defending one's energy, defending one's points of view. But it feels like a lot of resistance. But it's coming from, sometimes people tell us, like, you won't be successful. You won't find love again, that type of energy, but that's coming from their lower vibrational thinking. It's not the truth. And I do want you to look at the source. I tell my daughter that all the time. If someone gives you advice, look at the source it's coming from. Is it a source that you can trust? Because I feel like there's a lot of ego involved here. I could definitely, I feel like if someone was telling you that you couldn't have success or that you won't find love after them, well, they're wrong, right? They're wrong. But I do feel like maybe for a moment I bought it. And I feel like that's where your spiritual team really came in. But the decision of closing the door, that has to be left up to you. If it was a tower, then you don't really have a choice. But it's not the tower. So it's putting, it's transformation for you. And then the full is connected to that. That would be the perfect energy. And it feels like the Knight of Pentacles is saying it's important for you to be in the Fool's energy. For what your life is going to look like. Again, if you so choose. But I know this Knight of Pentacles is like, well, I'll just sit here and wait patiently. Eight of Cups. Beautiful. This is you walking away. But with emotional clarity. Eight is about a new beginning. Also the number of infinity. As above, so below. You know, like I feel like your spiritual team or your higher self would say to you, my dear, we've been through this before many times, many lifetimes. We have this wisdom. And you're hearing that, you're feeling it. This person is walking towards the Nine of Cups, inner harmony, but also fulfillment of wishes. But just inner harmony alone. Human action produces, I don't even know what the word to use, produces perfection. What feels like perfection. You know, nothing is perfect, but it feels like you're getting as close to perfect as you can here. You know, you are listening to your spiritual team. They're getting through. And if they're not, that's exactly why you were guided here today. Also, interesting because the Knight of Pentacles is mirroring the Eight of Cups, and right at this moment is also mirroring the Knight of Cups. Look at that, Seven of Wands over the Seven of Wands. I feel like what this is saying is you did get pulled into that energy. You did get pulled into that energy. And it is a lot of drama. But really, what I feel like you're saying is this fight is not worth it. Me standing my ground over the Seven of Swords, I got better things to do. Ace of Swords. Well, that is your truth, number one. Could certainly be communication, but it is truthful communication. It's coming over the Hangman. You may not expect this because it's mirroring the Knight of Pentacles. And a lot of times I feel like the Knight of Pentacles, we don't even expect the Knight of Pentacles because I feel like it comes as quite a beautiful surprise. Yet you earned every bit of it. So, could certainly be communication. We'll see. Let's keep going. Two of Wands. So, this is you now stepping on this new path. This is you saying yes to what the Knight of Pentacles brings in. This is you saying goodbye to heartache. You know, crying over spilt milk, crying over those who do not deserve your tears. And don't even blame yourself. All of a sudden, I felt like someone was like, no, I'm crying because I can't believe that I allowed myself to get stuck in that. Listen, we all have, right? We've all had that influence. We've all been there. So don't judge. Don't judge yourself. Just be willing to take a step forward. And that's what I love about the Two of Wands. It literally just asks you just to take a step into it. The rest will kind of take care of itself. You know, we have the Palace of Wands. So in a way, I feel like this is part of our journey. But another thing I love about the Two of Wands is it's not a fear-based energy. Now that doesn't mean that, you know, I 100% have no fear, but I don't allow that to stop me from this new adventure. And it does feel like a new adventure. Coming over the page of Cups. I felt like we had another page in the reading, but I don't see it. We have the Knight of Wands. Look at that, the devil again. and the beautiful empress. Okay. I felt this in a couple readings already where, because I do feel like, again, you it definitely looks like you were dealing with some type of energy. Well, those difficult to say the least. I do feel like there was energy that kept tempting you back, maybe three times, right? And maybe it's like three times and you're out. The Empress and the three, both of them are threes, but very, very different. If this is not a Capricorn for you, the devil, who's now shown twice, so double Capricorn on the board. Um, I could definitely see as you yourself are evolving, maybe like you're starting to make some real money. I could definitely see someone trying to make a repeat appearance with their hands out. I just feel like you got to slap their hands. Oh, I hit myself with my ring. Because the Empress, she would say no all day long. And she's coming over the Six of Swords. So the Empress, she's being represented a few ways in this reading. First of all, mother figure. Some of you could have become a single parent. That could certainly be what Justice was. But again, whatever you're leaving, it was drama filled and full of lies and untruths anyway. So the Empress, what I love about the Empress is she takes those experiences of her past. She does break them down. And she looks at them from a lessons point of view. Like, what was this meant to teach me? She knows that she's a spiritual being having human experiences. She doesn't shut down her heart because someone else told her she won't find love. No, she's very loving. She's very nurturing. She's very creative. And I love that with the Nine of Pentacles here. She's powerful, but gentle. She's no one's fool. And I feel like if who's ever in the Seven of Swords tries to make a repeat appearance, there's just no way. This is the growth that you've had as we've walked along this path. This is the ultimate energy. I often feel the queen or the empress has walked the path of all the queens, but she's extracted the wisdom of those experiences. It is the empress who's moving on. Like, whatever temptations the devil may carry, she's not buying them anymore. She sees them for exactly what they are. There is no blindfold. But I wouldn't be surprised. And you know why? Because I feel like those who are more than happy to live in lower vibrational energy, a lot of times they don't want to see us do well. They'd rather us fall. I mean, what's that? How can you say that's love, right? Look at this. The Four of Wands, my favorite love card, is coming over the Palace of Cups. This is true commitment. And I love that the Ace of Swords is also above it. And the Seven of Pentacles. It was always meant to be. It's just meant to be in divine timing, in the right time. You know, I kind of love this next to the Empress also. Um, Because some of you, this could be who you start a family with, but it can also be blended families. But if it is blended families, I would still feel, I'd still love those children like they were my own and vice versa. What I really love about the Four of Wands is these lovers couldn't imagine not having each other in their lives once they come together. They just could not imagine. Now it is mirroring the Two of Wands. So, is it like marriage right away? Probably not, right? But it is about the journey. Like, that's the one thing we forget. Like, I want my success and I want it now. But it's the journey of how you reach that success. I want love and I want it love. I want it now. Well, what type of love do you want? Do you want good love that can last a lifetime, or do you just want any old love? Because any old love feels like it may you know, show itself again. But I feel like I'm not even worried. I just feel like it would be a no. Like, there's no sense in me keep going over it because at this point, I feel like for you, it's just a no. I feel like what your spiritual team wants to say is don't forget to enjoy the journey. It's not about like the ultimate outcome, it's the journey. It's the journey of falling in love. It's the journey of putting hard work in and then starting to see the fruits of your labor. Those are all journeys that we don't want to miss. Yes, I'd love to go from zero to millions immediately, but then can I claim it as my own versus me putting in the hard work and literally seeing the fruits of my labor makes me feel proud of myself. The same thing with love. You have the Fool, which is a new beginning, taking a leap of faith, but it kind of is showing the ultimate destination, the Ten of Cups. Really, this is the ultimate destination because these are the people who will be living in the Ten of Cups, which is also coming over the Palace of Cups. Oh, we have more cards. Well, there is that Ace of Pentacles that the Knight promised it would bring in. And by the way, it is mirroring the Knight. Then we have the Hangman um, coming over. It's interesting how the Hangman has come over houses of love a few different times. But why would that be? Okay, so here, I know why. You were seeking wisdom. You were trying to figure out whether you should go, or change things, that type of thing. Here, I feel like it's just that you haven't met this love yet. And maybe the way things won't, wouldn't have blended with the things that want to open up. So I feel like the knights are like controlling this so that when it does show, and think one more thing. When you think of love, and then you put the empress in the mix, who is loving and nurturing, she knows it's much like the law of attraction. I have to put those intentions out there. She'll see them come back to her. This is someone who is constantly receiving epiphanies, ideas, and we all do, but she's someone who definitely puts them to use. Well, she's building success for herself. And I'm saying her or him. I know, I know that I have male viewers, uh, and I always keep you guys in mind. But, I kept saying her, so that's why I'm saying her or him. Okay. You know, the hangman mirroring the fool coming over that 10 of cups, coming over the knight of cups, right? The one who's ushering in new love. We know it's new because of the fool. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it can't be someone you already know, but it wouldn't be this energy, though they may try to come back. But I feel very quickly you shut that down. First of all, I feel like you work so hard to change you that I feel like there's just no way you're going to allow this back in your life. And I feel like, oh, look at this. The Ace of Cups. So each knight has delivered their promise. Knight of Pentacles, mirroring the Knight of Cups, or the Knight of Pentacles, with the Knight of Pentacles also right here. Delivered the Ace of Cups, who is being ushered in by the Knight of Cups. But in its right time, that's why the hangman, like, it just wasn't time. Or maybe who I was with was not my true love type of energy. But now, here it comes. Just the way the reading is falling makes perfect sense. Because this Ace of Cups, if we look at the Two of Wands, again mirroring the Four of Wands, the marriage card over the Palace of Cups, the ultimate in love, really. But all in its due time. And now the Ace of Cups literally coming over the Knight of Cups. I mean, you know, wow. And let me just say one more thing. This Ace of Cups is mirroring the Eight of Cups. So, and with the full next to that, again, it's signifying that this is not, you know, I want to be careful because I want to say this is not someone from your past. However, I want to say also, it doesn't mean, what I mean by that is it's not this person who's caused all this drama, who has lied and, you know, the Seven of Swords comes from a lack mentality. And I often feel like they're more than happy living in that lower vibrational energy, more than happy going out partying every night. But for some reason, I feel like, and then they run out of money, and who do they call? They call you. Or if I was living with them, they take my money. So that's not who, if it's someone that you already know, it's not that person. I'm not going to say they won't try to come back in, but they're not the ones who own this this Ace of Cups. We have the Magician. You know, it did show in reverse, and I kind of feel like it's meant to be in reverse. And I'll tell you why. Because the Magician in reverse is really the trickster. And that's exactly what I feel in that energy, right? I'll tell you what you want to hear, even though I'm lying to you, right? Because number one, I don't want to deal with the consequences. Number two, I just want what I want. And I don't want to have to like go through all your bullshit to get it. I'm talking them talking to you. So, and the Empress, like, she'll pick up on that energy. It's right below her. So it does feel like someone who, well, we're just going to call him the trickster. But also the Magician being reversed, I feel like it's, again, giving you a sign that this Ace of Cups doesn't belong, you know, with the Seven of Swords. Uh-uh. But I feel like the Empress knows that now. This feels like you've been on a lesson of learning your own worth. learning not to allow people of the past who really their opinions don't really hold much value, if any, anyway. The Empress knows this now. Some of you becoming a single parent, yes, that can be difficult, but I don't feel like you'll be single for long. Look at that, justice in reverse. Well, that kind of feels like the first thing I felt was that this is safeguarding this new relationship. I don't know if I've ever said that before, but it's what I felt like it is safeguarding this love. Double Libra on the board now. Some of you could have certainly, this energy before could have certainly been a karmic um, relationship, a karmic person. But listen, if that's the case and you end up in the Empress's energy, that tells me you've learned. And when you learn a karmic lesson, you learn it for eternity. And let's say that you are a single mom or a single dad, and your kids have been around this not such great energy. But then they see you making these changes and they see you like and your life evolving, which means their life is evolving. And then you do meet this person who really does feel like true love. Well, you're teaching them at the same time. So, what I'm trying to say is when you learn a karmic lesson, you learn it for eternity. But I also feel like you learn it for generations that come after you. So they don't have to repeat it. And I know exactly what your spiritual team is saying because it reminds me of like when I got married in 79, I married someone very much like my father. Not the good parts, the not good parts, like cheating constantly, immediately. Um, but eventually I saw that and I realized that. I forget why I even brought that up. I don't know. Okay. Well, holy cow. What do we want to look at? What do we want to look at? I have to say, the clarifying or going even deeper, I do that more for you because to me it's very clear. I think what I want to do is I want to move forward. So I want to take certain cards. I want to take the Nine of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, or the Ten of Cups. Let's pick up what I'm not going to use. I want to take the Four of Wands, the Empress, the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, the Fool, and the Two of Wands, Knight of Cups. And I'll show you what I'm about to do. We're just going to remember that we also have the Palace. I should take the Ace of Swords. Okay. Yes, this is going to make your reading a little longer. However, I'm going to put them out pretty much like they came. Okay, there it is. Two of Wands, Four of Wands, Knight of Pentacles. Oh, this way. Oh no, that was out first. Okay, not that it even matters. Okay, now what I want to do is, first of all, let's take the love clarifying or clarifying love situations. I feel like this is too hard for you to see, so let me do it a different way. Sorry, guys. Okay, so let me just tell you what I have on the board real quick. So I have the Knight of Pentacles, the Fool, the Ace of Swords, the Two of Wands, the Nine of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the Empress, the Four of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Ace of Cups. Let's give them a cut. And this is really nice because it's covering your money. And by the way, I just realized if you take that Ace of Pentacles here that the Knight brings in, you add it to that Nine of Pentacles, that turns into the Ten of Pentacles. And even like we had the Palace of Cups, you take that Ace of Cups, add it to the Ten of Cups, that feels like that ends up into the Palace of Cups. And why is this all coming about? Because of you. Because you are now carrying the Empress's energy. Avoid burnout. Fiery passion is consuming. Wait. Fiery passion is consuming. Sustain. Okay. Firing. They don't use any, like a period, anything. Fiery passion is consuming. Sustain a lasting balance. It's a little confusing, but well, kind of makes sense since we have a mix of love and money on the table. Okay, well, I'm not taking all those. I'll take what came to the table. Unlock the gate. Explore the unknown and walk new paths together. Oh my gosh. I love that. Unlock the gate. That's what you're doing in the Two of Wands. You're unlocking that gate. You're taking a step forward. Explore the unknown and walk new paths together. Four of Wands, you're not alone. Eternal renewal. In the cycle of life, understanding breeds hope for what comes next. What? In the cycle of life, understanding breeds, breeds, hope for what comes next. I'm not really sure what that means, but external renewal, that I understand. Okay, let's bring out the romance angels. Let's move these to the side. Give them a cut. All right. And we're just going to take a couple. But I feel like this is just the cherry on top. Heart to heart conversations. Ace of Swords right there. Well, that's truthful communication for sure. Honestly, discuss your feelings with each other. Heart to heart communications. That's why the Ace of Swords is showing up. Look at this, calling in your soulmate. Your spiritual team has heard you. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. Prayers, affirmations, calling in your soulmate. And let's do one more. Like something flipped. Nope. Keep an open mind. Your soulmate. Now, this is the second time we've gotten the word soulmate. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. That can be a good thing. And I'm saying that because I feel like for some, not everyone, I feel like the temptation has pulled you back to something that, you may have been hopeful for, but I feel became hopeless. So, if this is different type of energy, this is a good thing. Calling in your soulmate and then keeping an open mind with your soulmate. Listen, the Ace of Cups, the Four of Wands, everything that we're seeing shows you, first of all, that your love life is ascending to truly higher levels of commitment, real love. Your creativity, your money is ascending to levels of independence. And for some of you, I want to say you're going to feel rich. Maybe you become rich, but it doesn't even matter. It's just that feeling. Maybe just that feeling of independence makes me feel rich. Put out those affirmations, plant those seeds of intention. Be willing to take the human action that you know that you need to take. Like, I feel like that's what Mother Mary saying truth is like, just be lovingly honest with yourself. But if you're looking for a better life, here is your roadmap to it. These are why the readings are long. Yes, I could leave out like all the lesson cards and just go to all the beautiful cards. But what are you really learning, right? What are you really learning? How can you really evolve off that? And I'm not putting anybody down when I say that. I just feel like you need the details of how can I ultimately get and reach this energy, because it is you doing it. So give yourself credit, even if you're just beginning, even if you've yet to use that cycle or that sickle, but you know that you should. I feel like the minute you use it, well, then everything starts to open up. So you can look at your reading that way like, okay, first I know this is a necessity. And then once that happens, what opens up the Fool? It's a new beginning. You know, the death card, it's a promise. When you close one door, a new door will open. But man, if I can find real clarity and real understanding of my past, number one, the chances of you repeating something that is not of your higher good are very slim. Especially when we see the Empress. She's learned from her, I hate to say mistakes because I feel like everything is meant to happen. Everything teaches us something. It's just, do we accept it? You know what I mean? So, I mean, ultimately, I wish I could remember your last reading. I just remember the feeling I had. I have the same feeling again. I have the same feeling again. But this is moving you very quickly. So the minute you close that door, I feel like everything else just starts opening up. And again, remember, a universal year 9, it is that final push to let go of what's no longer helping you to evolve. And it's getting us ready for what will be a universal year 1 next year. Well, that's the energy of the magician. But I don't feel you have to wait for 2026 to start receiving these blessings. A lot lies within you. Look at the promise. And it simply feels like it's coming because I am now the Empress. I keep my heart open, but I am nobody's fool. I know the difference between low vibrational love and high vibrational love now. I know the difference of doing hardly anything and seeing that I'm getting hardly any money versus putting my creativity into use and then seeing the fruits of your labor. This is because of you. So be proud of you because your spiritual team sure is. You know, it's like these nights, they are waiting on you, so to speak, with no pressure. I mean, it's when you're ready, but also be very honest with yourself. That's what Mother Mary wants you to do. It's what God wants you to do. Be lovingly honest with yourself. Be truthful, and the rest will follow. Wow. Look at me. Wow again. It's like I just want to put that as your title again. Wow. So, Aries, first of all, I thank you for your patience because I don't know how long. Oh my God, it's almost a 2-hour reading. Huh. Um, but I felt like I needed to break it down even more, and I'm glad that I did. So you're calling in a soulmate, but keep your mind open because you may be used to a certain type of energy. Yet I feel like that energy, it ran its course. And this is a completely different type of energy. Well, it's of a very high vibrational energy, but that's because you yourself think of the law of attraction. If I'm putting seeds out of love, but I myself and could no way give that type of love, well, that just puts issues before what really feels like it's meant to flow. So when you clear the past, you are doing yourself one big favor. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna let it be. I have to tell you, the day that I stopped getting excited by the readings I do is the day that I gotta quit. So, I get excited like I'm an Aries. And it's because I want this for you. I really do. All right, I'm gonna let that be. I love you guys. I thank you. I am doing these a little early, but don't worry about that because, at least at my channel, everyone's different, but at my channel, I feel like if you're called to a reading, even if it's years old, but it resonates with you today, then just trust that that's when you were meant to see that reading. I feel like that's how our spiritual team works. They will put the signs, whatever it may be, in front of you when you can really hear it, like with your spiritual ears. The sirens just went off. I almost feel like it's telling me to, okay, wrap it up, Sandy. So I am. I'm going to wrap it up. Um, One last thing I want to say, though, is I've been trying to figure out how I want to do some giveaways of some items that I've been blessed with, but I now want to bless you and figure out how I'm going to do it. I don't know. For those who've been with me, I did a series a couple years ago. It's called Trust Your Intuition. And I think I did 5 cards, but I left the middle card face down so we couldn't see it. And then it asked you to trust your intuition and tell me what you think the card was. I didn't even look at the card. I think that's what I'm going to do again. There's no right or wrongs. And then what I'm going to do is put like everyone who comments, you must subscribe though. You must be a subscriber. I mean, that only seems fair, right? But what I'll do is I'll put all the names like in a bowl. Probably do that live and then pull. I have a few things, well, quite a few things. So I'll pull some names and then we'll do it again, like maybe in a couple weeks and pull some new names. So make sure that the little bell that's right by subscribe. First of all, you do have to be a subscriber. Um, and I will be checking. And I don't mean that, it's hard for me to say that because I don't want you to think like I do this only for subscribers or only for money. If I did it for money, I'd be like a lot of tarot readers who have an ad every 2 minutes. Oh, that drives me crazy. And YouTube is always sending me memos saying like you can make more money, put ads in your video, you make more money, you can make 75% more, put ads in your video. It can't. It can't interrupt the flow. Tried. And I don't want to interrupt the flow for you. So anyways, I don't know why I'm talking about all this stuff. So just make sure your bell is rung 100% because when you subscribe, it doesn't ring that bell 100%. Some of you are like, what the hell are you talking about? It's a little bell that sits right by the subscribe button. And when you click on it, it says some notifications, all notifications. You can always turn that back off. But if you're interested in the giveaways, I'm only saying that so you don't miss it. Anyways, gotta let that be, guys. I loved it. I loved it. Steeler game is on today. Wish me luck. Go Steelers. Unless you're from Baltimore, then you probably don't wish me luck. I lived in Baltimore for a while, but I remained a Steeler fan. I lived in New England. I lived in Washington. I remained a Steeler fan. Um, Anyways, love you guys. Thank you. And I will see you next time at our table. Aries, you never disappoint. Really. Bye bye.